All over the valley every day, yoga students show up for class to sweat, to breathe, to reconnect. But once a week here at the Sweatshop on Central in Central Phoenix, something extra is happening. They're all here to support their recovery.
Press into the left foot and lift the right knee.
There's just me, right? There's this like true self. There's who I am to my core. And for a really long time, I got away from that.
To watch Jacob Daffner in the yoga studio, both in his own practice and as a teacher, he seems at peace, guided by a sense of purpose.
Block out me, block out you, block out everyone else, and just focus on that breath.
But years ago, he was lost.
When I was 12, I started using and drinking. And then for 10, I guess 11 years, it kind of went through this progression that got worse and worse and worse, lower bottoms, using harder substances, doing things I said I wouldn't do. Got into all this crap, all this really life-threatening, really bad habits, active addiction for over a decade, and I had to have tools, and yoga's just one of many that helped me kind of shed that so I could get back to who I am.
Who he is today is someone committed to sharing the gifts he's found in sobriety and on his yoga mat. Lisa Moody is clinical director at Scottsdale Recovery Center. She says yoga is an important part of their program, and Jacob's guidance, as someone in recovery himself, works.
You reach your hand out and help the next person up, and that's what you do when you get sober. And he embodies all of that. We get a lot of people with anxiety and depression. So great for people who have anxiety and depression because you're learning how to breathe, you're learning how to meditate, you're learning how to help make your body more healthy, because in addiction, people are not taking good care of themselves.
Left foot steps to the outside.
Yoga is offered in many recovery programs across town, but Jacob knew it was critical to offer these heated yoga classes for addiction recovery beyond that, to those who are done with their inpatient treatment.
The class is so powerful in itself, right? Like there's so much benefit for each student that comes and practices yoga for an hour, but more than that is this community that's around after. So it's a great place. Your Friday night, 7:30 p.m., that's, it's over by 9. That's like a tough time for a lot of people to stay sober or find something to do.
I'm approaching 90 days of sobriety right now.
Zach Workman says the yoga practice is a powerful piece of the puzzle for a life away from drugs and alcohol.
Look up, lift up, reach up, inhale. And then as you exhale, triangle pose.
I realized I wanted more out of life. And with a lot of support from my family and friends and people like Jacob and Sydney that I've met through the program, it's been a totally different experience, and I have no intention of going back.
Awesome, Zach. Good stuff, man. And then we'll go ahead and warm up with a couple sun salutations, Surya Namaskar A.
The practice is healing, and for Sydney Grindell, the human connection is key.
But inside, it's like you just don't feel a part of people. You don't feel the same, and you're kind of a little dead inside, it sort of feels, because you know that you have this disease.
Nice. Awesome, Sydney.
Now, a lot of times, especially in recovery, people feel isolated and away from each other. And even though it is just you on your mat, here you are, you're sharing each other's breath, really, so to speak. You're sharing each other's space and your heat, giving each other strength.
I always thought growing up that yoga was for skinny girls with expensive athletic wear, but it really has benefit for everybody of every age, of every background.
It's what Jacob felt years ago when he got sober and got serious about connecting his mind and body. It's what he shares in this heated room at the Sweatshop on Central every Saturday night, remembering his own journey and the correlation between his physical practice and his emotional and spiritual health.
At first, it was confusing to me because I'd never done this before and I was new to the postures. So I didn't necessarily enjoy the actual practice initially, but that feeling I had at the end is what kind of grabbed me, that I felt at peace, and I hadn't felt that for over a decade.
He has a beautiful spirit, and that shows from all his work that he's done in his own life.
When I go through the inevitable tough spots of life, which happen and will happen, that's kind of a guaranteed, I have support and I have tools and I have confidence in myself that I can deal with them without having to act out in an unhealthy way like picking up a drug or a drink.